In today's video, we're looking at a brand new water pump called Smartbot. Now the guys that make this thing reached out to me and said if they sent me one that I would absolutely fall in love with this pump. Now, I'm not sure I want to get romantic with this thing, but it certainly looked different and it had a list of features on a pump that I'd never seen before. They offer this pump in two different sizes. This is the 2,800 gallons per hour model, and they also have a 3,600 gallon per hour. The power cord attached to the pump is 12 feet long, and it just plugs into a regular 120 volt outlet. But the feature I'm really liking is look at the adapters they include in the box. They give you everything from 3/4 of an inch all the way up to 2 inches, and they cover all the sizes in between. For the first test, I'm going to try to pump down my pool using a regular garden hose and the 3/4 inch adapter. But this pump supposedly has a brain inside, and it should automatically shut off once the water level reaches the bottom of the pump. Now that's pretty common with something like a sump pump, but you won't usually see that feature on a water utility pump because that float can usually get in the way. This pump is different. It's got a sensor inside that uses light to figure out what the water level is at. Turned the pump on and the water was flowing, but overall it didn't really look that exciting to me. In fact, it kind of looks similar to my old pump, but there's a big difference here. My old pump couldn't use a larger hose, but because this thing could go up to 2 inches, I decided to adapt one of my pool drain hoses to see if I could get the full output out of this thing. And to be fair, that hose is designed to be used for the vacuum for the pool, so I did have to go to the store to buy one adapter to make this thing work. And honestly, I didn't really think this little pump was going to be able to drive it. I'm using a power station to run this pump for a couple of reasons. The power is shut off to my pool area, and this is the only way I could actually get it to run. But the second and more important reason is I wanted to be able to monitor the exact amount of wattage this thing was actually using. With just the 3/4 inch hose, the pump was drawing around 330 watts. As you get older, different things in life excite you, and I have to say that the output from this pump was really unbelievable.
Wow. 423, it was using about 300 watts when it was doing the tiny little hose. It was doing that hose. In about 30 seconds, the water's already gone down. I cannot believe that. Holy crap, that was about 8 seconds. Try that one more time. Done. I can't even hit the button.
That works out to 2,300 gallons per hour out of an advertised rate of 2,800 gallons per hour. And you might think that you're getting ripped off here, but you really aren't. Water pumps get tested and rated in a lab, and they're not really under real life conditions. I was actually pretty surprised that I got the amount of flow out that I really did. But another big test for a water pump is the ability to pump water uphill. Now every pump is going to lose some flow when you're doing this, but some pumps aren't even able to pump that water up at all. And this thing was really hard to hold, but even with it 12 feet in the air, you can see this pump was still successfully pumping water. And while it definitely had a reduction in flow, this is still a really great sign that the motor was able to push that much water that high in the air. And now for the final test, I wanted to see how smart this pump really was. Now normally with a water pump, I gotta kind of hang around, because if that thing runs dry, the pump is gonna burn out. But this one advertises you can leave it somewhere, and once the water runs to the bottom, it should automatically shut off.
Perfect.
Water pumps are one of those tools you don't always think about until you need them. You might be moving water in a hot tub, bathtub, or even a pool like this, or you might be just trying to pump out some water from a basement during an emergency. I've gotten a number of pumps over the years, and most of them have not passed the test, and I wouldn't recommend them. But this one did really well, it worked exactly as stated, and I will definitely be using this thing every year in my pool.